My name is Leslie Williams, and today's date is May 17th, 2012. And I'm sitting here at a bus stop, just sitting back and trying to enjoy a cigarette. And you know, it's just almost mind-boggling, the audacity that the San Diego Police Department and the San Diego City Council has. Because I know, I flat out, in the district attorney's office, I had no doubt in my mind whatsoever they're involved in this shit. Excuse my language, please. For people that are not aware of who I am or what is happening towards me, you can go to Google and YouTube and type in learning disabled woman. I'm a target of organized stalking, and I'm learning disabled, and it's a nationwide syndicate, flat out, and you know, I'm sure if this is the first time you're hearing this, you probably think to yourself, what the hell? But you know, the only way you're going to be able to understand what I'm talking about is to pay attention to my videos. And if you do, you will come to understand literally one of the most heinous crimes that can be perpetrated towards a human being. And I'm going to say this flat out. They're doing this to whites, blacks, Mexicans. They're doing this to whites, blacks, Mexicans, Asians, Persians. Go to Google and type in gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. It's a manifesto of an individual who manages and directs the harassment that a target experiences along the route. Then go to Google and YouTube and type in remote neural monitoring. At YouTube, look up a good way to understand what remote neural monitoring is once you read the PDF file at Google. Then go to YouTube and look at the NYC Chronicle videos. And then observe also some additional videos that you'll see on the sidebar at YouTube when you type in remote neural monitoring, in order to be able to scrutinize what's happening towards us targets as a result of being a target of these expeditions. And we are also subjected to electronic harassment. Now, the remote neural monitoring is being used to monitor targets neurally from a remote distance. Excuse me, please. Now, I'm going to make this video file in reference to, it's going to be the first video file that it has these type of statements in them. You can, when you see that you're a target of organized stalking, and then you go to the police and you attempt to file a police report and they won't file one, and then they turn around and gaslight you, which means that, see, targets are subjected to what is called sensitization. And now the community harassment is, just to get back to that just for a second, is achieved through community notifications, union members, civic groups, community groups, churches, charities, and the community notification, which is a tool of law enforcement. And what they're doing is using a tool that was supposed to be designed for safety measures to notify the community at large, civic groups, and their connections in the community, like you and I believe. And they combine a target's name on this community notification with the slander campaign in order to be able to get the community at large to harass the target for them in particular ways for free. Because they got to be able to break a target down through cost-effective means. Now, the remote neural monitoring is used in order to be able to monitor a target neurally so that they can then take the information as a result of being monitored neurally and then scrutinize it for them, for their expeditions. So a target is processing, I'm going to get up today, I'm going to go to 3 different places. They think to themselves what places they are. They'll even think to themselves what route they might take. As a result of them being neurally monitored from a remote distance with remote neural monitoring, the handler and monitor of the remote neural monitoring scrutinizes the information and then places organized stalkers along that target's path on those routes that they deliberated they were going to go to. And as a result of them knowing that, and these organized stalkers being placed along a target's route and at the places they go to, they're subjected to organized stalking overt harassment techniques, which is known as sensitization, through physical gestures, direct conversation tactics, and through specific types of sounds that they make. This in turn makes a target feel stalked and harassed as a result. Excuse me. Now, the community notification is also sent out to businesses, okay? And so when a target goes anywhere and everywhere, they are literally subjected to these sensitization techniques that are brought about towards a target for a target to either see or hear, okay? And everywhere they go throughout the whole duration of their whole entire day. Then when they go home, they have to be subjected to remote electronic harassment. And electronic harassment and remote neural monitoring work together hand in hand in the same computer network that is literally run by artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence software is not a new thing at all. And it basically just does nothing but monitor the target neurally, and then the artificial intelligence scrutinizes what it reads and then picks specific dialogue sets out of a software program that has pretty much the English dictionary and slang terms. The computer then, that is running on trillions of flops per second, will literally comprise dialogue sets and statements to transmit back to the target based on their evoked potentials and based on what they're doing as a result of being remotely neurally monitored. And this computer and the artificial intelligence is running on trillions of flops per second. In other words, it's processing information at trillions of flops per second. So it's literally able to harass a target about their own evoked potentials before they're even completely processed. Okay? You got to know about the human brain in order to totally understand that. Go to UnitedTargetedIndividualsEurope.com and thoroughly scrutinize remote neural monitoring to get an idea about what it is. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm trying to help the... Excuse me, please. I'm trying to help San Diegoans and fellow Americans to understand what's happening to us targets, because it's not, non-stop harassment all day long, either through the organized stalkers along all of their routes and throughout the whole duration of their day, no matter where they go. I can be going to a library and sit there for 7 hours at a university, and I'm literally harassed through over physical gestures and direct conversation tactics around me as a result of being targeted with organized stalking. Then I go home and I'm subjected to the electronic harassment, where I'm literally harassed through the microwave auditory effect that the computer, see what the computer does is it piggybacks off of power lines like that one up there, cell phone towers, radio towers, stationary satellites in the community. And what it does is that it piggybacks off the frequency of these devices and modulates it either up or down. It's actually down. So it literally interfaces with the bioelectric frequency of a target's brain. So a target hears it in their audio cortex. Yes. They also project scalar projected audible distinguishable aerial harassment. Now, so if you can imagine being harassed every second of the day, okay, all day long, on top of your personal life being torn down, targets are subjected to blacklisting from employment. The perpetrators will literally stage a vehicle accident, so the target doesn't even have a car to sleep in. And then they create homelessness of a target by getting landlords and property owners on board through mortgage co-opting and by stealing rent. They're also into identity theft, where they'll literally totally liquidate a target's assets out of their bank account using bank employees. Organized stalking is organized crime in the system that is directly connected to the organized crime in the community, using these types of blue and white collar workers in order to achieve their objectives through their employment descriptions. I'm going to go ahead and stop this audio file. The only thing I can do is try and tell you, fellow San Diegans and fellow Americans, if you're ever approached to harass me, whoever's approaching you to harass me is directly connected to human trafficking rings. Okay? And I want you to understand something. I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't sleep around, I don't steal, I don't engage in one bit of criminal activity. I have no criminal record at all. I've never committed a felony in my life. And these whole entire expeditions, there's a guy approaching me right now. These whole entire expeditions are designed to... How you doing? These whole entire expeditions are designed to use their employment descriptions of the syndicated members in the system to aid and abet in boxing a target in. Okay, to take over their finances, to exploit their Medicare and their insurance, and to exploit them sexually. and they're using the community at large based on slander campaigns to achieve these objectives. They also are attached to social services, social security, the district attorney's office, the prosecutor's office, judges, probate lawyers. You would not believe what I know. And they're literally tearing down people's lives who have not done nothing wrong, just to take what they got: their house, their land, okay? Trust fund liquidation, identity theft, human trafficking, sexual servitude rings, prostitution rings. You would not believe what I know and who's involved. And the San Diego police are 100% involved in this, as well as members of the San Diego Fire Department. Yeah, and if you don't believe what I'm saying, just everything that I've described here in reference to the terms that I have described, people's employment descriptions, and what gang stalking and organized stalking is as far as their methods, just cross-reference it to organized stalking and gang stalking at Google and YouTube, and you'll clearly see what I'm telling you is the truth, just by the amount of Google-generated responses you receive in reference to what you type in. Go to Google and type in gang stalking or organized stalking universities. You'll get over 8 million responses. My name is Leslie Williams. You know, they're doing this to me. I'm literally subjected to non-stop harassment all day long, every single day, day after day after day after day, everywhere I go along all of my routes, including when I go into a restaurant just to get a bite to eat. Yeah, because they contact the business owners, the restaurant owners, the movie theater owners, grocery store owners, and managers through their power positions in the community, using the community notification to harass me when I go in there through overt physical gestures, direct conversation, verbal statements. And what they do is when they sensitize you to physical gestures and verbal statements, they just have people non-stop get along your route and repeat them towards you to make you feel harassed and stalked as a result. So if you can imagine how your mental, they keep you on a circular mental loop of reacting and responding to the same exact non-stop sensitization tactics day in and day out, day after day, night after night, every single day, and that's all they do, on top of tearing down the target's personal life. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California, and this is the 928 bus right here that they had me assaulted on October 10th, 2011. And on October 10th, 2011, and that assault was staged. And you can go to YouTube and type in "learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on MTS bus," and make sure you look at what's in the comments feature of that video. Cop Block posted it on their webpage, and it's all over the internet. And then they sent me an altered video of the assault because they were directly involved in it. It was a staged, outsourced assault orchestrated by the San Diego Police Department, the District Attorney's Office, and the Fire Department. And I already know it for a fact. Right after the assault occurred, when they finally came, 15 minutes after they let the perpetrator get away, after I had to call 911 6 times, the fire department that came by in the EMS truck literally had the audacity to verbally cue me. Yeah, the sensitization tactic I was telling you about. And it happened 36 hours after I went to the DA's office and at the Hall of Justice to the District Attorney's office to tell him I was a human trafficking target and that there was an extreme likelihood that the San Diego police were involved in it, and that the San Diego Fire Department was harassing me through what is known as siren harassment, that you can go to Google and cross-reference that to organized stalking. This is what... when you witness the brutality of that crime, of that assault, which was even literally predicted on a digital tape recorder that I wear attached to my clothing, okay, before a minute and a half before the bus arrived at the bus stop, a minute and a half before the bus arrived at the bus stop, the one I was steered to go to, I said, something's going to happen here. I know it, because I got on the bus, and they switched the I got on the right bus, and then what they did was I got on the right bus because of what was on the electric sign on the side of the bus, which was my regular route. Then he started going, after I got on the bus, then he took off and started going on a different route. And I said, what's going on? He said, well, this is the Kearney Mesa route. I said, well, how do I get off this bus to reconnect to the other bus? Fashion Valley. He said, we got to get off the bus at this bus stop and then walk across the street and go over to that bus stop. I said, okay, thank you. I got off the bus, and then I said in my digital tape recorder that I wear attached to my undergarments that I'm showing you right now, I said, watch, something's going to happen here because I know what I saw on that sign. Okay, I know flat out what I saw on that sign. And so I said in my digital tape recorder, watch, something's going to happen here. The bus showed up within 60 seconds, literally. I get on it, then the perpetrator got on it about 5 or 6 bus stops down the road, and then when I went to go get off the bus, he brutally assaulted me. And and then also, well, they altered the video, but I wrote a blog one day after the assault on October 11th, and I said in the blog that I was sitting in the back of the bus and the perpetrator was sitting in front of me to my right. If you look at the video, you can clearly see he was sitting in front of me to my left. They flipped and altered the video, okay, to make it appear that we were both sitting on the opposite side of the bus that we were really sitting on. Why? Because of what he was doing with his hands 5 minutes before the assault. And so what they did out of haste is that they altered the video to make it appear that he, just in case this ever got out, that he wasn't doing nothing. But then they only sent a video that was 2 minutes long, 1 minute before the assault and 1 minute after. 1 minute after, no audio's on the video, and you can clearly see that the video is altered just by noticing how the back door is on the wrong side of the bus, the rail that holds the mirror is on the wrong side of the bus, and the mirror is backwards. Yeah. Just look at it carefully. And there's no way in hell I could have altered that video because of the type of format they set me the video in. The EXE format and the type of video it is. It's got a bunch of different frames on it. Okay? And not only that, they also altered the video in reference to how the bus driver was being begged by me to get out of his seat and call 911. He got up and went into the middle of the aisle. They totally admitted that. They admitted the sound. And they admitted the fact that they switched the witnesses that were on the bus. My name is Leslie Williams. This was nothing but an orchestrated assault that they appear to be getting away with because I can't get no help because they're connected in the system. They're literally connected down into the DA's office, the prosecutor's office. You know, so how is just an average citizen supposed to get help when it's organized crime in the system? Look at that video and look at me being assaulted. I'm a learning disabled woman. That was a staged, brutal assault because they're targeting me for human trafficking. They're directly connected to it. And because I was whistleblowing about it, they had me assaulted. Then they send me an altered video, and I'm still being subjected to non-stop organized stalking along all my routes every single day, everywhere I go. And the USD and SDSU, Point Loma Library, and UCSD are intercepting all of my emails for help. Make sure you look in the comments feature of that YouTube video concerning learning disabled woman being brutally assaulted on MTS bus. You'll see that that assault was predicted 9 days before in an email file. I printed it out, scanned it, and closed it in a PDF link. It's there for you to observe, and I had to make that prediction because they assaulted me on August 17th, 2011 at a bus stop. Because I was blowing the whistle before August 17th. Anyways, I was preparing to go down to Barbara Boxer's office to expose a section of this crime that's been happening towards me. They seen I was preparing to do it by what is known as organized stalking and cyber surveillance over at USD. They see me printing out the privacy consent form that is on Barbara Boxer's homepage, webpage. They see me preparing letters through a Word document program over there, directly worded and headed to Barbara Boxer. So they seen I was preparing to go to Barbara Boxer's office, so I made an email file about what they might do as a result of me preparing to do it or going. And they literally did it. I said there's a great chance I'd be assaulted either riding my bike, walking, or on public transportation. 9 days later, I was brutally assaulted on public transportation. What's the likelihood of that happening if this wasn't happening? My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. Today's date is May 17, 2012.